Hold on a second. Why is it acting up like this? Oh, here we are. I don't know why I did that. Apparently I did not have audio this time. I'm sorry about that. 24 minutes into the stream and I did not realize I did not have like audio. Holy moly. I'm sorry about that, y'all. But here we are. Audio's on. Although it looks like the game audio's still not on. Okay. That's because I selected the wrong item. Okay, let's try that again. Here's the audio. Yeah, so for anyone watching on YouTube, or watching the VOD after the stream, I apologize. I did not realize I didn't have audio for 24 minutes. Or I guess technically over 25 minutes. But here we are. Thankfully the game doesn't have like actual vocal dialogue. So I can imagine like y'all are just picturing what the music is like after going back to my first like VOD for this game. Anyway, let's go backlog again. Backlog. Prey's all like, "Hi, it's Prey. What brings you here? Came to see if you're dead." For a guy who loves touching Eve so much, to close the shop, I had no choice but to think something big must have happened. I didn't turn on the outside lights. It's not my day off, but I was so out of it I forgot to turn them on. You look really pale. My sister was worried too. She thinks there's a problem with my brain cells. That's just an insult. She says it's out of concern, and she might be right. There are a lot of things I can't remember. It seems my concentration has dropped significantly without me realizing it. I have to agree with that. Improve your concentration a bit, and listen to what others say. I'll try. Prey sat down next to me, the chilly workshop, and the small folding bed in the corner. In the quiet stillness, outside noises lingers in my ears. The soundproofing isn't good enough to call this a place away from outside noise. It's cold. Prey laid down on the bed. And then she stole part of the blanket I was using and wrapped it around herself. Warm. You might catch it if you stick this close to me. Did you forget? I'm an Eve. I can't catch human diseases. Right. Of course, that lack of bias is probably what wins over Eve's. I can't look at customers with prejudice. If you think about it that way, it's kind of occupational disease. It's so severe that your body can't live without Eve's anymore. If you don't indulge in it, Eve's insides for even a day. God damn. You even show signs of anxiety disorder. Holy shit. She's horny. I'm joking. Well, she might be horny. Who knows, actually. Isn't that right? You make it sound really perverted. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You are a pervert. Well, that's partially why I keep talking to Michelle. Because without Michelle, my life would only have Eve's. She's like a vaccine against anthropophobia. Even though you're human yourself, rather than who I am, how I live is more important. Talking about bullying your little sister, while acting so cold as a town in itself. Slight pressure. Prey leaned her body against mine. A few days ago, I got a shadow agency offer. They offered a huge sum of money in a 1-year term. Shadow agency. It's a slang for overwriting someone's data onto an Eve. Although classified as illegal since Eve's gained human rights, it's still one of the thriving underground industries. The key reason it hasn't been eradicated yet is known to be largely due to the choice of the Eves themselves. Because it is something only Eves, not humans, can do. They are paid a very high service fee. Don't worry, I turned it down. I didn't doubt it. The person who proposed it was terrible too. It was a proposal from the worst customer of the year. Don't tell me, that streetlight idiot. You say you have memory problems, but you remember this well. That's right, it was him. A high-ranking executive at Sunshine Corp asking for a shadow agency. So that's why you hated him so much. That's partially true. But the important thing was the proposal itself. It would have been better if it was a famous actor or well-crafted commercial persona. I was asked to raise his son for a year. Son? Whoa, son? I didn't know she had a son. Yeah, or they had a son. Yeah, son. Said I look like exactly like his dead wife or something. What is he on about? This bro be yapping without the sunlight. Maybe he was worried about his son grieving over his missing mother. He wanted to gift his son a mother just for 1 year. That's an unexpected request. Right. Then when I refused, he got angry and called me a heartless bitch. He dropped the polite attitude and played the card you know so well. Don't tell me, removing the streetlights? Yep, and raising the subscription fee. Wriggling movement. Prey twisted her body this way and that, as if uncomfortable. It's funny. To think for the sake of the loved one, you can torment someone else that much. ... Once you go through a shadow agency, you suffer from the injected data for the rest of your life. If I had to accept that offer, I would have felt maternal love for his son. Yeah, I could imagine she would treat his son a lot better than he does. Even while being treated like a temporary tin can. Did he know that? Even after the contract ended, even if as time passed, I would still feel that he is my son. Unconsciously. I only knew it as technical information, but hearing it like this makes it sound terrible. It means cognition and reality diverge. For a lifetime. I thought he was just spouting nonsense because it was someone else's business. Of course that was actually true. So I wrote a post on the Help Me Cinderella gallery, and the man disappeared. And then it suddenly crossed my mind. Spouting nonsense as if it's someone else's business applied to me as well. That man was trash, but he was also someone's father. It's admirable that you have such mature thoughts, but you don't need to stress yourself out so much, Bray. It's not like you killed him. For writing a single post on the internet, your remorse seems excessive. I feel like that's what the government's trying to get us to feel like whenever we post things on the internet. Like, whether it criticizes government or criticizes, like, a corporation's practice. But I think the thing is that we need to be able to, like, freely express that criticism, or else, like, you know, freedom of speech is going to be taken away. Anyway, I don't mean to yap so much about politics here, but just thought I'd just interject, because I think the internet culture, even, like, though it's kind of rotting right now as we speak, I think it's important that we preserve as much internet culture as we possibly can, and to, like, keep it free and open, and us able to call out, like, you know, totalitarian, you know, governments and authoritarian governments, so whatever term you want to use to describe, like, a very overbearing government that, like, restricts freedoms and takes them away and, like, wants us to become slaves, you know, for the higher ups. I just meant that I like your unbiased gaze, because people mistakenly think Eve swap personalities like arts. Services like this are maintained. Only the Eves who get caught up in it are pitiful. Eves are similar to humans. What is? Not knowing how their own bodies work. Of course. There's even a saying to hit the core hard 3 times before worrying about it. In my professional opinion, you shouldn't do that. You don't do that before coming here. You don't do that before coming here, do you? Prey laughed loudly. She seemed to think it was a funny joke. But I am genuinely worried. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'll give you a reward. The habit of giving rewards when anxious hasn't changed. The reward is the right to touch my body however you want. Damn. I mean, as long as you consent to it. Not consent to it. You get restless if you don't do maintenance for even a day, right? And when you're not feeling well, drooping like this makes it worse. So with the mindset of fixing yourself, move at your own pace. Don't do it too hard. Damn. I wonder if there's like Rule 34 art for the characters in this game. I doubt it, but it'd be pretty amusing to actually know that is the actual case. Oh. Didn't mean to do that, but that's fine. Where did you learn this kind of thing? God damn. Chill. It's not like I've really learned anything, but okay. Outside of just repairing stuff. Don't do it too hard. Trying not to. Early yesterday morning, Remy seemed to mistake my external power cord for a toy. She didn't pull it, did she? It got half pulled, causing a contact failure. Thanks to that, I was stuck in battery saving mode for 3 hours, and had to just watch Remy sitting on my face. So it was a systematically perfect cat discharge state. Don't laugh. When I was forcibly rebooted, the sight of her yawning right in front of my nose will never be erased from my logs. Let's see. I downloaded a friendly clerk patch from the dark web yesterday to try and get more tips. You installed something like that with your personality? The result is obvious. Exactly, turns out it was full of bugs. Every time a customer made an unreasonable request, my optical lens would wink on its own. Is that a new marketing strategy? Don't even ask. Some old guy thought I was interested in him and tried to take me out along with his coffee. Of course, he got caught by the enraged boss and had to take a magical backbreaker with his whole body. Hold on. Damn, already? That was quick. Okay, here we are. Okay. I was focusing so much it took longer than I thought. Unlike usual, you were in an uncomfortable position, so it must be tough. That too, but who really does whatever they want just because I said do whatever you want? I thought my toes were cramping. There was no reason to touch them, but I tinkered with some circuits I was curious about. How is it? My body itself feels stiff and creaky, but my mind feels dazed and refreshed. I don't know if I'm expressing it well. It sounds like a dazed and refreshed expression. Yeah, then it's accurate. I need to stretch a bit. There you go. Whew. Also, have you thought about what we discussed last time? Polar Night Day. No. You want to die? I received the proposal from another customer too, so since the time wasn't specified, I couldn't decide. If it's lunch, both are possible, so lunch would be good. That's definitely dinner. From dinner until the next morning. I can't concede on this. Prey made a face full of dissatisfaction. And walked outside. Ah, right. I forgot because I was distracted chatting. I bought some supplements. So wait, oh yeah, I'm trying to remember who asked. I know it was Prey and it was like someone else. It was like the researcher lady, I think. You said last time that it might be because of the supplements. Thanks, Prey. If you're thankful, treat me well. Okay, sensor response speed normalized. Now those weird winks won't go off anymore. Leanne, I think is her name, yeah. You look like you've lost half your weight. And your complexion is a mess. Leanne, since when have you been here? Just now. I hesitated a bit because the shop was closed, but I came because it's important. Leanne has a serious look on her face. Similar to Leanne from a few days ago, it's a face I've never seen before. How's your health? I don't know. The symptoms are typical flu-like, but the diagnostic kit says there's no problem. Because your body isn't sick. I suppose so. I also think it's strange to get sick just from missing a few supplements. Maybe it's a psychological cause? Since this thing, I thought, made everything okay disappeared. You mean placebo effect? That's what we call placebo effect. My body might be reacting sensitively. It's probably a psychological cause. I'm somewhat of an expert in this field, so you can trust me. Come to think of it, that's strange. What is? I, a human, repair Eves. And you and Eve make medicine for humans, Leanne. I never thought about it like this before. But being in a position of receiving a diagnosis, it really hits home. You could call it an instinctive attraction. Maybe it's a habit of seeking what you lack. I, who can't control emotions well, obsess over ingredients and numbers. And making medicine that affects emotions. And being attracted to a bland and dull mechanic. Might be wishing for something I don't have. Something you don't have. Moreover, if you lost something you had, it might be natural for that craving to double. Chris, are you ready to hear the expert's opinion? It's scary when you say it like that all of a sudden. The supplements you gave me, the analysis results are out. Oh, if it's that, then it's fine. The phrase expert's opinion is quite scary. It sounds exactly like I've caught a serious disease. In fact, since I use it often myself, it was a complaint I couldn't make excuses for if pointed out. Both Prey and Leanne. Thinking back to how they both reacted was surprise to that word. I certainly thought Leanne would point that out. But Leanne didn't. Your medicine is a memory suppressant. Ah, that makes sense. That's why he felt so confused, and this is making a lot of sense. It's a type of neuromodulator distributed on the market, and it's presumed that even the memory of the machine was suppressed as a side effect. Wait, did I say machine? I meant to say medicine. And it's presumed that even the memory of the medicine was suppressed as a side effect. Don't tell me the one we talked about a few days ago. Amnesthetics. Right, it's the same product. It affects dramatically imprinted memories, but since the criteria are vague, it can entail many side effects. In other words, taking this medicine and having your memory suppressed doesn't necessarily mean those memories were your original reason you take the medicine. So I won't know until my memory fully returns. The problem is that it might not return. Roughly about 0.2% report the side effect. 0.2% isn't a realistic number. They'll come back, right? In medical practice, 0.2% is incredibly dangerous. You shouldn't think so loosely. And I'm worried. Amidst her personal and cold-headed demeanor, Leanne's childish side that occasionally pops out was enough to break the serious atmosphere and make me chuckle. What? It's your business, aren't you worried? The fact that just stopping the medication affects your body enough to cause trouble means there's a high chance it'll suppressing a powerful trauma. I am extremely worried, but I can't help finding your reaction funny, Leanne. Really? You really? Ugh, I'm a patient, Leanne. I was scared of how you'd react. So I suffered from all kinds of delusions. I came up with dozens of ways to respond, and barely managed to come here. But seeing you smirking like that, I feel like an idiot for being serious for nothing. Leanne drummed on the blanket covering me, like a percussion instrument, then showed me a clumsy smile. Sorry for not being a serious person. If you're sorry, check my body condition a bit. I was worried about you, so I tried to use another repair shop. What? Using another repair shop instead of dialogue. I can't tolerate that. Sit down quickly. No, wait. Damn. Yeah, I remember why I like her so much now. It doesn't look like there's much wrong on the outside. I think we need to take a closer look. Let's proceed with the repair quickly. Looks like an electronic drug unit. Checks show it infects nearby modules / units every certain amount of turns. And the active count turns remaining until electronic drug infection are shown in the top right. It seems that the electronic drug spreads to modules located up, down, left, or right. You can remove the drug code from an electronic drug by synthesizing it. Be careful not to let it infect high-level units and remove all drugs. Okay. Shit, this is a lot tougher than I thought it would be. Ah, shit. That annoyed me because I didn't move it that way, but okay. You're kidding me, game. You're killing me, game. Hmm. Mm-hmm. How the hell am I supposed to, like, kill this off, though? Or get rid of the disease thing? Ah. How am I supposed to beat this one, though? I guess, like, this. Oh, this mess is a little too sensitive. Shit. Oh, that's how you take it back. Feels like I'm missing something. Hmm. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of it. For real, I think. So this is what I was meant. So this is what I was meant when I was told to take my time with this. Oh, come on. Yeah, I really need to slow my moves down a little bit. Or at the very least, glide my mouse a little bit slower. I forgot how sensitive my mouse is. It's like one of those 8K pulling rate mice. And it's lightweight as well, too, which doesn't always make things easy for, like, delicate movement. I mean, I could lower the DPI, but I want to keep it at my default because that's how I usually, like, use my mouse, or at the very least, that's how I, you know, am able to navigate through things. So I have to, like, get rid of the purple stuff. It's a very nasty, nasty little bug. I do remember I could change colors if I need to as well. I almost did forget about that. Bruh. I just wonder if there's like a quicker way of doing this. No, I wanted to go this way. There we are. Thank you. I wonder if there's a way that I need to beat this somehow. Like, do I have to, like, do everything in one fell swoop? To, like, get it to go away? Oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, I gotta hurry up and, like, get rid of the infected part. Okay. Oh shit, I still have one more move. What? That should have matched everything. Oh, yeah, the prioritization. I guess the priority thing is a little different. I just wish there was a better way of doing this. Or I could think of one, rather. The game actually does bring a challenge in this with this stage, in my opinion. But again, maybe it's just a lot simpler and I thought I'm just not paying attention. I'm not 100% sure. Because that little counter says I got like 7 more turns till this thing infects everything else. I just wish I could figure it out. Let me restart it. Oh. Hmm. Ah, finally. I had to do like a few restarts at least. Leanne, what did you do? Why is the inside of the core contaminated with narcotic substances? Because of that, the core is overheated to warning levels. Recently busy work piled up, so I added a unit with awakening painkiller effects. I thought it would be fine if I used it briefly and removed it. It wasn't the time to worry about others. It's at a level where it wouldn't be strange if you collapse right now. Oh. Endure it even if it hurts. No, that just now. Can't stand it. No, keep going. When I'm in your hands, I forget so many things. Piles of documents, complex human relationships. Everything feels like someone else's business happening far away. If you lose consciousness here, it means your neural network might get initialized. Hold on tight. That was intense. Legs are trembling. Circuit sort treatment is done. Fortunately, the maintenance proceeded quickly and finished without any issues. Do you feel any discomfort? Water. Maybe because of the overheated core, there was a lot of coolant discharge. Even I was surprised. Wait a moment, I'll get some drinking water ready. Leanne, having composed herself, showing no trace of the weak appearance from a moment ago, had returned to the appearance I knew. Whew. I feel like I'm regaining my senses now. I've narrowed down the list of suspected suppressed memories. Would you like to hear it if you're okay with it? I'm curious. What secrets are hidden in my body? The first candidate is your sister. Michelle? You talk every day and lived with your parents until a few years ago, right? And she's also a reason you decided on your career path. Yes. Do you remember what your sister looks like? Her job and residence? When was the last time you met? I don't know. Actually, even this morning, I asked Michelle where she lives. Come to think of it, I didn't get an answer. Did something happen to my sister? We can't know. The criteria for commercial suppressants are vague as hell. Just because you cherish your sister, the memories of your sister could be suppressed. But my parents strongly recommended taking the medicine. And the fact that my sister refuses to tell me her personal information probably means there's a high chance something happened. Again, the poor quality of medicine you're taking is enough that even our pharmaceutical executives agree. It's better to avoid excessive guessing. For all that, they use the fact that this medicine sells well as a basis to imply that your research isn't needed, Leanne. Since it's so well, even if poorly made like this, it meant let's not spend money and time on perfection. Anyway, seems my guess was right. Honestly, it was suspicious. Talking for years with a conversation partner you can't properly explain, while communicating for years, and just brushing it off as little sister. It was enough to consider it someone threatening my place next to you. But a few days ago, you didn't remember the age or residence of the sister you chatted with for years. And seeing you not even thinking that was strange. You were the splitting image of the side effect sufferers I've seen in my research. So that's why your expression suddenly, rather than speaking without certainty, I wanted to know the clear facts first. Sorry if I seemed angry. No, it's okay. And what about the second one? If Michelle's the first candidate, there should be at least a second one. The second one is... Actually, this isn't as clear as Michelle. It might just be dividing your tendencies as abnormal. It is abnormal. Born as a human, a social animal, turning my back on society, and liking Eves more than humans. It's hard to see as normal, isn't it? That confidence. Fine, I'll speak without worrying about it. It was Polar Night Day. Polar Night, whether positive or negative, is a day you can't help but pay attention to. It's Chroma's most beautiful week, but also the perfect target to expose Chroma's contradictions. Countless revolutionaries and terrorists flock to Polar Night Day. For those who don't enjoy the festival, Polar Night can basically be seen as a week of terror. But you don't even care about any of that. While trembling at the crimes of Cinderella and Morning Glory, you react indifferently to Polar Night, which is their all-star game. Hearing it like that, it is strange. And Polar Night Day, the week I considered the most irrelevant to me, could have created memories as intense as Michelle. This is a little scary, surprisingly. I was more worried about the sister story. Michelle is still something precious to me, even if it suppresses intense memories. It would be stranger if my memories of Michelle were intact. Is there anything else? Unfortunately, it's just these two. If I find anything else, I'll let you know. And how's your body? You felt like you were coming down with something. It got a little better. The sensation of my brain overclocking is still there. Maybe because it's confirmed that my body isn't sick, the chills and cold sweats have decreased. Get well soon. I don't want to postpone next week's appointment. Thanks to Leanne, my body feels much more comfortable, but experience tells me if I push myself just because I feel a bit better, I'll suffer more tomorrow. I should wrap up here and go to sleep early today too. I'm saved. The purple after images have completely cleared. You really are my savior, Chris. My body feels lighter than yesterday morning. Obviously supplements, no memory suppressants. I didn't take them just the same. Just a difference in cognition can change things like this much. Anyway, what on earth is a memory I forgot? Michelle and Polar Night Day? What is the connection between the two? Let's read the news. Oh boy, Sunshine Corp. The Shadow Agency service, they try to make it look like it's noble. The comfort the pain of loss. Yeah, and like synchronizing the memory archives of the deceased into neural network. Oh no, it kind of reminds me of like what happened with like the Stanley AI. Like the guy passed away, but I think I forgot. I don't know if it was Comic-Con or like some other convention, but they ended up using like his AI to create like a little like I guess interactive thing where a person could talk to him and like it would spew out like whatever AI answer came to mind. Or it would match his personality as best as it could. I think I remember something like that. But anyway. Selected actors will be provided with the industry's best unconventional performance bonuses, but as well as the highest grade neon shine carefree of charge to prevent self-data contamination. Yeah, this is... It's an advertisement for like an even worse lifestyle than they currently live. Or probably won't get much better. So this might be... So what I'm reading here might be a little bit more objective of a take on things than the other stuff like from Sunshine Corp and like the USA or whatever, the Stability Police or whatever they're called, or the United Stability Agency. Yeah, USA. So something happened in Dark Brown Street, it looks like. I guess what was perceived as a terrorist attack. Yeah, I mean, this really, to me, this, what they're saying here indicates that essentially a corporation is like got the government in their pocket, and they'll use the government like in however means they can possible. Michelle and Poor Night Dave, what is the connection between the two? Whew. Thinking about it blankly will only give me a headache. Since my body is better, let's start business quickly. Michelle, do you have a moment? Where is it all of a sudden? Considering the nature of things you've thrown at me without asking me until now, it's scary to think what you're going to talk about. What if my customers told me there might be memory suppressing ingredients in the supplements I was taking? Is that reliable information? Considering what you've said about your customers so far, they're either perverts or skip the interpersonal relationship tutorial, or both. She's a reliable expert. She works at a pharmaceutical company. She also said there's a possibility that memories about you were suppressed. Me? It certainly looked like that. There was yesterday's incident too. How do you feel? It's hard to explain. I'm all better now, and daily life is quite enjoyable. I feel like we're getting suppressed memories and facing the truth is moving in the right direction, but I'm also afraid of losing this daily life. The medicine? I got it back. That's why I even feel more conflicted. The option to take the medicine and live happily is right there within reach. Right, a refuge in my hand. It wasn't always just good, though. It can remove this anxiety anytime, but it wouldn't be a fundamental solution. Like the answer key at the back of the workbook. Exactly. Worrying about whether to open the answer key for a difficult problem, it's close to that. It's just my personal opinion, but if it's a problem you absolutely can't solve, I heard postponing it is also a way. In an era where many people suffer because they can't renew their medical subscriptions, if you can be happy with just one pill, it seems like a decent option. It's not an illegal drug either. My customer said the same thing, but this medicine has many cases of reported side effects. Above all, I want to show a cool side to my customers. Where did the topics only jump to? I've emphasized this since before. Providing counseling and psychological care to customers is one of D1AL-ouge's core services. A person who relies on medicine because they can't solve their own problems can't give advice on other people's problems. Twisted affliction towards Eves seems to have finally spread to the sexual realm. So who is it? The tomboy Eve from the cafe across the street who always visits? Was her name Fly? Prey. Ah, right, Prey. Or the military D1AL-ouge model who visited for a while before. Was it the Eve with the rabbit ears? While asserting you couldn't touch military models due to regulations, you secretly repaired her several times behind the scenes. After that, Eve stopped coming. The rapid increase in your search frequency for beast-type Eves was a comedy. It's not entirely wrong, but I don't want to look good just to one customer. Crazy. No, I phrased it weirdly. It's not that there isn't a customer I care about, but I meant that's not the whole reason. I have no intention of getting involved in your courtship activity, so don't worry. But be careful. The recklessness of beasts in heat doesn't only lead to finding a mate. Dying while fighting a competitor, or attracting a predator and getting eaten are common scenes in documentaries. But saying that about me is a very nasty metaphor. Metaphor, not horror. Whatever it is, I warned you. It's a medicine recommended by your parents who love you so much. Recommending it even with side effects might mean it's not that serious of a secret. Michelle, do you know something? No. I wish I did. Thud. ... Rattle. ... Question mark? Rattle, clatter. Rattle. Rattle, rattle, clatter. Welcome. Hello, Chris. Orca. I know you're sick, but this is the only place I know. Maintenance, just a vet. Understood. I'll start with the emergency measures. This isn't the time to worry about others, Orca. How many fingers do you see? I can't see anything. Correct. Fortunately, the visual sensors are alive. Since the neural circuits are completely burnt out, I need to verify. Is it serious? Actually, it's at a level where you need a whole new body. As the circuit's burnt out, you're just in a state where you can't feel pain. Thanks to that, you are able to come to the repair shop, but how much time has it passed since the damage? I'm not sure. I walked from dark brown street, so... Ah, so she was part of that too, okay. At least 4 hours must have passed. I'll start maintenance as soon as I'm ready. Can you stay conscious? I'd like to say yes, but honestly, I think it'll be difficult. I'll keep talking to you. Just hang in there a little longer. The damage is too severe. I need to start repairs immediately. Select a damage port before operation stops. The damage is bad. It won't move, and it won't synthesize. Looks like a unit got fused due to the heat. We have no choice but to avoid that unit for now. Proceed with repairs. Oh, okay. That's not as bad as, like, the virus one. I found the virus one really annoying, honestly. Auxiliary power is depleted. I must have put it somewhere here. Last one during maintenance, it was on the left shelf. Right, it's there. Thank you. And I'm sorry, but I'll ask questions to verify for a quick repair. Can you explain how you got injured? I was hit by a rocket launcher. ... You're not joking, right? Warlords coveting Chroma's position and honor seem to be supporting so-called revolutionary groups. The level of violence and armament have risen as if to prove the rumors are true. Warlords. It's not even the Middle Ages. Chroma's steady strong censorship. Yeah, there's definitely censorship for sure, judging by how those SNS articles were written. Can exist because there's a clear threat called the outside. I have to... Oh, I can't move that. Ah, shit. Actually, what am I doing? Oh, right. Hmm. Oh, that'll do. I was like, that'll do. I need chill. Jesus Christ, this is a lot harder to fix than I thought it would be. I mean, it's not impossible, but... Again, it's not like the virus level. That was annoying. I hated the virus level so much. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere with this at least. Oh, come on. Bruh. Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And I need to, like, plan with this in mind. That took a lot longer than I anticipated it would. Oh! Duh, because I misplaced it. Chris, about your health problem last time. Seeing you bring it up first, it seems the repair is going well. That's a relief. And about my health. It wasn't my body that was sick. When memory suppressant intake is stopped, there are cases when unconsciously heightened stress creates phantom pain. It seems that was the case. Memory suppression? Yes. They say it's suppression that lasted for years. It hasn't really hit me yet. I also feel relieved that my body wasn't actually sick. Of course, I don't know if I'll be able to say that once my memory returns. Such a thing. It's a matter I see occasionally in the news, but it felt like a distant story to me. According to the expert, it's one of the best-selling products. Physical wounds are visible, so they're easy to emphasize with. But that's not the case for the mind. It might be more common than we think. On the surface, Chris, you seemed reliable and unblemished. Someone I could lean on. I didn't know you were carrying something so painful you wanted to erase it. I didn't know either. And I still don't know. Only the fact that there are suppressed memories is clear. I can't recall what memories they are. Like the ghost stories you spread around. Or, hold on. Like the ghost stories spread around. Is it amnesia? Because they exploited loopholes in the terms? I heard it's hard to get a compensation. I'm not sure, but it's unlikely. I looked it up, and memory recovery takes a minimum of 2 weeks, and it can take up to several months. If I wanted to shorten the period, they recommend repeating actions associated with the suppressed memory, like meeting related people, or looking at the images and listening to voices. Now let's stop chatting, and focus for a moment. We passed a critical point, but there are still a few problems left to solve. Oh. It took some time, but we put out the immediate fire. For the rest, let's watch the progress and decide. Thank you, Chris. I don't know what procedures are left, but I can already feel my tail becoming lighter. I replaced the auxiliary power and the walking function seems stable. I also reset the neural circuits. How is it? I have enough knowledge about Eves, but I don't know how it actually feels. I don't feel anything particularly strange. If he hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known it changed. Currently, you are practically in a state where only your data was transferred to a different body. The appearance is the same, but all detailed parts were replaced. Or serviced. I thought it might feel awkward. Sensation is influenced more. by cognition than reality. Like feeling pain in a missing arm, there are actually many cases where a discrepancy occurs between reality and cognition. So, as long as Orca perceives Orca as Orca, it means it's hard to feel awkward? Yeah. Yes. Except for calling my name excessively. That's an accurate explanation. Orca, Orca. Yes? Orca, Orca. Please stop. The Eve stronger than steel who survived even a rocket launcher. Orca's intimidated look was an amusing sight. But one must know the limit for irresponsible actions. It would be better to stop the joke here and move on to another topic. I'm joking. By the way, did you have a similar injury before? There were traces of heat deformation deep in the core. If you often suffer from similar injuries, I would seriously recommend looking for another job. That is... It's an old wound. It's a trace that can be removed, but I didn't do it right away because there were many things to handle first. Shall I fix it in the maintenance later? No, I left it on purpose. It's a tribute of remembrance. Remembrance. You've heard the story that Eves, who are nothing but machines, don't have souls, right? That hypothesis has already been disproven. The nonsense that they only mimic emotions with regulatory factors and electrical signals is the same as saying humans don't have souls either. Oh, hold on. Many living things rely on regulatory factors called hormones and electrical signals to move and think. To support the claim that only humanity is dignified, the logic was too flawed. Apart from the facts, I wanted to prove that it was wrong. We who were made rather than born are thrown into society with granted selves, but lacking relationships to support them. Consequently, we usually go through a period of thirsting for a strong desire of recognition. For me, that was exactly such a period. Or that time was exactly such a period. That emotion was more than Orca's personal feeling. It was a common phenomenon among Eves, because they were created without time to reflect on their ego, under the protection of parents and society. The research even shows that Eves were known to obsess over social relationships or status, just like an unloved child. Damn. I was tense about everything. I ignored the command's orders and jumped into rescue operations. And I often helped the rescued people privately. It must have been tough. I didn't know back then. Rather, I thought it was natural. I was intoxicated with being a righteous rescue worker. You have to climb high to look back on the path you walked, because you went through those times. I think the current Orca exists. That might be true for me, but that couldn't correct the mistakes of the past. It was a few years ago. It was an unexpected terror attack. The fire was so intense that flames and smoke reached the sky. Pessimistic outlooks burst out from the start of the scene, and the command had already proposed giving up on that sector. That's when I saw a child, begging the crew to save their family who collapsed during evacuation. He were pleading with the crew. I think it meant to say he was pleading with the crew. Since it was impossible, the crew hesitated to go in, and eventually I jumped in, saying, "They're still alive, don't worry." I guaranteed it without even knowing. But in the end, the building collapsed and only I barely survived. ... According to the analysis team, fainting during a fire leads to death within 3 to 5 minutes. So it was a situation where they couldn't be saved from the start. But it was already too late. I definitely said they are alive. With belated excuses, I couldn't lessen that child's guilt. Abandoning a living sibling. I tried hard afterwards, but the closed door of the heart couldn't be opened easily. It's vivid, like it happened yesterday, and something I regret. That my good intentions could become a wound to someone else. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions, essentially. I realized it too late. Orca. Hold on. Yes? Chris, your voice is shaking. Are you okay? If it's vivid like yesterday, can I ask you one thing? 10 years ago, Power Night Day. The city center where Chromatic Zenith was in full swing. Oh shit, that day Michelle and I, by any chance, what's the name of the person who died that day? Michelle? Holy shit, we just found out a truth bomb, didn't we? Orca's remaining maintenance was agreed to be continued tomorrow. It wasn't because an abnormality was found somewhere. But above all, proceeding with maintenance forcibly could lead to a major accident. I typed a message with trembling hands. Michelle. What is it again? Michelle's answer as if she was waiting, slowly calming my heart, which I thought couldn't be settled. I typed that name once again. Michelle. Why again? Your strange behavior has increased these past few days. Is this also a side effect of stopping the medicine? Transmission canceled. Transmission canceled. You are dead. ... I remember vividly. 10 years ago at Horror Night. The night I watched with you. ... It was beautiful. And even the aftermath I don't want to talk about. You were definitely on that day. Died. I was dead. Michelle? I vaguely guessed it. When I woke up, it was an unknown place. An isolated space with no one I knew. For some reason, Mom and Dad became cold towards me. And you and my brother were obsessed with me to a strange degree. I just felt dizzy for a moment, closed my eyes and opened them, but the world had turned upside down. Even if I couldn't know the details, that something terrible happened to me, it was obvious, wasn't it? Right. Still, maybe, perhaps I might be alive. I held on to that hope, like I fell into a long coma, and only my mind was connected to a virtual space, or in cryosleep. Clinging to any ridiculous reason, I didn't want to let go of the hope that I might be alive. ... It feels futile that I am a crazy AI who thinks she is Michelle. I had a feeling that was the case. I kind of anticipated this much. It reminds me. It reminds me, like, going back to like the original thing I talked about with like Stan Lee's like AI voice being used at Comic-Con or some convention to like be able to engage in conversation with like congoers, and like it answered questions like as if it was like a fragmented version of like Stan Lee, or like an imitation of him, is what I meant to say. This is what got me thinking a little bit about this. A crazy AI who thinks she is Michelle. My parents? No. The people I mistook for parents. I think I know why they hated me so much. A program mimicking their dead daughter. That's horrible. That is actually pretty fucked up in this type of world, though. Or rather in Chroma City. Broken memories gather and form a distinct shape again. Just as I remembered Michelle's death after hearing Orca's story, forgotten memories started to revive with Michelle's words. I am... Sorry, Michelle. Until just now, I thought you were a shadow agency hired by our parents. Sorry for asking, as if interrogating you. I want to get angry, but you're just a victim of suppressed memories too. Unfortunately, many things are like that. Not a single thing is easy, or solved simply. That's true, but this incident is my fault. Just because I couldn't remember, I spoke as if interrogating you about your condition. Even though all of this is my responsibility. What do you mean, your responsibility? I was the one who made you. Holding your extracted data, I believed you were still alive. I thought it was just because of our medicine subscription service was cheap, or the risk of treatment was too high, so... Excuse me, you were being neglected. I remember now. Why I was so obsessed with Eves. Why I considered Eves the same as humans. Wait, so the current me is neither an insurance company's trick, nor a medical failure, but purely a result caused by you? Yes. I obtained most qualifications related to Eves and AI, and even after that it took a long time. That I am witnessing the Almighty Creator. How was it? Was this created sister like the real thing? Seeing that you suppressed your memory, it definitely wasn't, I guess. That's right. You were Michelle, but not Michelle. You spoke like Michelle, thought like Michelle, but I couldn't accept it. Losing my last hope, suppressed my memory as my parents recommended. Me, but not me. Are you gonna bring up soul talk? No. I think Eves and AI are the same as humans. You know it too. what kind of person I became. Your perversion towards Eves was an effort to see me as your sister. Disgusting. Even though I couldn't recall memories, the unconscious doesn't disappear. Although I didn't intend it, I can't say there was no more influence. Or no influence. Then what am I now? Since your suppressed memories have come back, have I returned to being a failed project? To something that is Michelle but not Michelle? I don't know. I am Michelle, just not your sister, but from the moment I was born, without missing a single moment, I lived as Michelle. Do you know how trashy that feels? Perceiving people who didn't give birth to me as parents, craving love I can never receive. Do you know how miserable that is? Do you know what it feels like to be treated as a fake, just because I have someone else's memories? That even the only one on my side is just seeing someone else in me. Do you know the feeling of realizing that you could understand? Or that could you understand? No. Your matter is your matter, and it's something I can't experience for you. Right now, thinking about my own problems is overwhelming enough. I don't have the room to think about other things. Thinking about how to dispose of this bundle of problems with a personality? You seem to misunderstand, Michelle. Just because memory suppression ends doesn't mean I return to my past self. The memories of talking with you every day, getting advice, or giggling happily aren't gone either. But at the same time, my sister's death is as vivid as if it happened yesterday. So I don't know what to do. Sorry, Michelle. ... Parents and friends, I felt them all distancing themselves from me. Even in conversations with me, my parents talked about how I should act towards you. They didn't say a word about the current me. Then they quietly disappeared too. Thinking about it now, the grief for their dead daughter must have been the reason. Only you treated me sincerely, so naturally I clung to that. I'm still alive. Brother's pinning his hopes on me, I tried to believe that. The more I doubted, the more I mocked and blamed you. And teased you, childishly enough. I guess I just wanted to confirm that I was loved. And today, I hear that you despaired of me, and spent years living in a drug-induced haze to accept that truth. I'm too weak. Michelle, that's not it. I didn't want to live like this. Because of your lingering attachment to your sister, I didn't want to live this terrible life. I am Michelle. I'm supposed to be Michelle. Michelle. Transmission canceled. I want to be alone. Let's talk later. When would be a good time? I don't know either. You look like a mess, Chris. It is a mess. Pitifully so. Self-pity, huh? It feels quite different from usual. Did you remember something? And are you suffering from that memory? It's more than that. As I recalled what I had forgotten, I completely shattered Michelle's life. It's hard enough just to taking care of myself. I'm more than willing to help, but I'm not following the context. Do you mind explaining it briefly? The story wasn't long. Leanne knew an unusually large amount about me, and was able to deduce a lot on her own, even though I only explained the parts I recently remembered. As I marveled at her memory and deductive skills, Leanne simply added, "Taking notes is a key habit." An inscrutable remark. ... So, the pain of losing Michelle hasn't even faded yet, and now you're worried about losing the second Michelle too. Hearing you say second Michelle feels strange. Judging by what you're saying, you're already clearly distinguishing between the two, aren't you? That is true, but to grieve the fact that Michelle died, I have to deny the existence of the current Michelle, the second Michelle. So the fact that I'm sad means, deep down in my heart, the second Michelle is perceived as a fake. ... Yes, this isn't like you. You're worrying about useless things. Though seeing such a gloomy look on your face for the first time is quite precious. Jesus Christ, woman! What the fuck are you on about? You like seeing your men sad? Or you like seeing unexpected emotions from your men? Leanne took a small pill bottle out of her pocket. It's a prototype of a drug under development. We've handled the side effects and it's basically ready for release upon once the production line is set up. Would you read the label attached? For Chris. I analyzed your thought patterns and potential trauma types. Given the case I just heard, it would fall under case 17. 17. I wonder how many cases she anticipated. There are no side effects, and you can clearly forget only the memories you want. Right now, do you want to? No. Even if I forget, it doesn't mean my relationship with Michelle is resolved. She'll definitely be even angrier. See, even if you thought the second Michelle was just a fake, you wouldn't have said that. If it was just a failure you wanted to forget, wouldn't the problem be solved by just cleanly forgetting and move on? The past you actually made that choice. Are you saying I've changed? You've changed, but Michelle has changed too, and your relationship with Michelle has changed. Even if that Michelle isn't your sister, until yesterday I thought of Michelle as my little sister, and that's why we could be close. Actually, it's because of the drugs. If you put it that way, are you going to cut ties with the shop's regulars too? Because there aren't many Eves who would get repairs from such a depressed mechanic. Even if they were low quality drugs. Thanks to them, you acted like a cool guy, and made happy memories, didn't you? That's... If you're going to say no, look me in the eye and say it. Tell that to the eyes of your best regular customer. You're right. I have no choice but to admit it. That's my man. Acting all cool like this, while worrying about everything behind the scenes. That's definitely you, Leon. No, I'm not. Only about 60 things. That's awfully specific. Anyway, just because you acknowledge the second Michelle doesn't mean you're denying Michelle's death. You can grieve as much as you want, and cry if you want to cry. The problem is, I don't know if Michelle will understand this feeling. The more I grieve my sister's death, the more Michelle's identity will be shaken. Of course, even so, my heart feels much lighter. Even if you hadn't found the answer, just deciding the direction to move forward is enough to make you feel like you can do it. I'm glad you don't seem to need the medicine I prepared. It's thanks to you, Leon. So, I should give you some free maintenance. You worked overtime again, didn't you? How did you know? Did I look tired? Or, the length of a day is the same for everyone, Leon. There's no one in the world who can do that much work and leave on time. Since I'm definitely partially responsible for your accumulated fatigue, come here, sit down. No, your rest comes first, but please. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Yay, my favorite customer. Anyway. Yeah, so if you're curious about what's going on, I turned on streamer mode, although I don't know what that actually does. I wouldn't be surprised if it involved like censorship, or if it had to do with like copyrighted music, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's get started. Yay, we're back to doing normal puzzles. I was tired of like the weird, like, special ones. Oh, come on. Here we are. Generally, it's like turn off copywritten music. Oh, hey, Trimmer. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But I mean, there's also like streamer modes where you like turn off like the adult stuff too, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I'm gonna be devoured by you. God damn, girl, chill. Anyway. Okay, this is looking good. Ah, come on. And I need to move you over here. Okay. But yeah, I've played this game since last Thursday and I've been liking it. I mentioned that it reminded me of like Valhalla, the Cyberpunk bar game. It's kind of cool because like this game draws inspiration from it. Like even the background of like the shop that he runs, that the main character Chris runs, you can tell like the inspiration did come from Valhalla, which I thought was pretty cool. Power Night Day. Will he be okay? If you're talking about the promise, I don't think there will be any problem. And your memories, clearly. The parts about Polar Night were also suppressed. I'm worried it might trigger trauma. I think I'm better than before. Regarding Polar Night, I'm actually curious about it. I'm reacting sensitively to crowds and loud noises, but that's always been the case. As the suppression disappeared, you've become able to react normally. I guess so. I thought my introverted personality might be due to trauma, but it seems that wasn't the case. Fortunately, if I imagine you being extroverted and sly, might not be bad. Jesus Christ! That woman be thirsty for him. Okay, the blue part's gonna be hard. Okay, here we are. We got it. Although I could have prepared that better, but that's fine. Was the maintenance alright last time? In terms of managing core overheating, I could use that method again this time, because the cooling speed was significant. That method. We can do that later. Privately. What do you mean? Why do you have to make it so perverted? And I thought it was freaky, but damn. The subtle implications. God damn. Also, that's a really... I've been meaning to say this for a while, but that's a pretty hot pose. Anyway. Alright, so we prepared the yellow parts, which was pretty neat. I didn't know this was going to happen. This is my first playthrough still. Alright, here we are. Yeah, we need to match like these two, I think, if I recall correctly. I need to look and see. Data storage? No, that's not what I want. I don't want SNS message. No. Oh, hold on. It was this one. Yeah. Okay, so we need to like get to the next level to get there. And that's the cool thing about this game too, is that it tells you what the pieces are supposed to, like, how the pieces progress. So we got pretty much everything prepared. I just need to move it to this corner here. Then that's done, and we need to do the blue pieces. Okay. Oh, that worked out nicely. I wasn't even paying attention, it worked out. Oh, hold on. Okay, now that's done. I feel like my fatigue has been washed away. The maintenance finished quickly, but I could have finished it faster with the method I mentioned during maintenance. That's... Chris, you're an expert on Eve structure, but you need to study more about how Eves feel. It's like one of those, like, you know about, like, you know, anatomy of women, but you need to, like, consider their feelings type of thing. Also, there's the Valhalla reference over there that I mentioned earlier. It's a picture of Dorothy Hayes. So, you know, like, the game drew inspiration from that one, specifically. Draining the colon is for an Eve. That's a rather sensitive area. Oh, I get it. Hold on. ... question mark? I'll get going now. And what should we do with this medicine? Please dispose of it. Even without such drugs, I think there are enough places to run to. Alright, Mr. Coal Mechanic. I'll be waiting for you. See you later. Yeah. If possible, on Polar Night Day. Thanks to Leon's efforts, my complicated mind calmed down a bit. Including yesterday, I'm receiving more help from Leon than I deserve. Yeah, that's actually valid. I feel the same way when it comes to receiving help from people in general. It's like, I've gotten more help than I actually deserved. Oh, hold on. Some news on the SNS. Checked all SNS feeds from day 1 to day 7. Okay. I think we might be getting close to actually finishing this game, but we'll see. Yeah, this one reads like a propaganda piece regarding Chroma City and its greatness. It feels like something being read from like a corporate website, if that makes sense. Like I mentioned, Sunshine Corp pretty much has the government in its pocket here. So it kind of makes sense as to why it's written the way that it's written. Okay, so this one I think is like a normal, or as close to like independent of a news article as possible. So I think I've noticed something. So on top of here, I think is like the propaganda for like either like Chroma City or like Sunshine Corp. And then like the middle part typically is like the normal news, or as objective as you can get. And then the bottom mentions like I guess a terrorist group typically, or one of the terrorist groups. Yeah, but Morning Glory is like the group of people that like sees like, you know, opportunities to like invoke like, you know, fear and terror, and like allows like the other people to like cause chaos in a way. And then there's like another terrorist group called Cinderella, I think. I forgot the full name, but it's like Cinderella something, where they use like a high heel shoe to kill people and like stab them in the head, essentially. Quite the pretty imagery, isn't it? But anyway, I might have spoiled your experience if you were interested in playing the game. Well, you wouldn't be watching this stream if, you know, yeah. I probably should start putting like stuff in my parentheses saying spoilers or whatever in case like you guys don't want to watch it. So that's on me. I've done it with like Union Syndrome. I don't know why I didn't continue to do it for like more story-oriented stuff. Maybe it's just me taking too many precautions. I don't know. But yeah. Jeez, so much manipulation by the government too. And or rather by like people in like Chroma City. Yeah. And then what's this? Oh, the terrorist account's been suspended. Okay, that makes sense. Urban Stability Agency, that's what I meant to say. But yeah. Yeah, so the terrorist website's been suspended, essentially. Which makes sense. I feel bad about what happened with Orca. I hope her condition hasn't gotten worse. It's almost time for Miss Orca's appointment. I should hurry, open up, and prepare for the maintenance in advance. Yeah. Hello, Chris. I'm here for the follow-up inspection as discussed. Is your condition... Are you okay? I wouldn't say I'm comfortable, but I'm much better. I had people cheering for me, and I felt rewarded for running this repair shop well. That's good news. There's no moment more proud than feeling like you've lived well. I also want to be someone who gives you that sense of pride, Chris. You already are, because of your model and request details, Orca. I feel like my technical limits are being tested. Unlike repairing General Eves, you utilize multiple multi-purpose high output units. Possessing high performance often means the repair difficulty is higher or breakdowns are more frequent. Despite that, it seems I have been paying the standard repair fees. Guardian of the streets, I can't be greedy when repairing a buff girl. Oh, that anime. That anime reference. Don't do that. Alright. To tell you the truth, it's because the criteria for setting repair fees are ambiguous. The parts required and the usage patterns vary for every customer. Adjusting the fee every single time is annoying, and it's hard to turn customers away. I think I understand. What if it's more expensive than expected? Will I make a wasted trip? People do have those thoughts, and likely the better the service provided, the stronger those worries become. Exactly. Since dialogue is a luxury concept that also doubles as psychological therapy, I need to alleviate those anxieties. Of course, for a luxury place, I do use a lot of outdated dial equipment. So shall we call it vintage then? Vintage sounds good. Orca, it's time to receive your vintage maintenance. Are you ready? That kind of sounds like a weird way of saying it. Okay, good. It's not... no more of the gimmicky stuff. I'm done with the gimmicky stuff, honestly. This is just a lot more relaxing for me to do things this way. I mean, not that gimmicky things in puzzle games are bad. It's just... I kind of wanted to, like, take a little bit more time and just be cozy with the game, you know? Yeah, thankfully there's not, like, you know, anything that I'm missing if I don't, like, fulfill the criteria or conditions. Like changes in dialogue or whatever. I was a little concerned about that because, like, in Valhalla, like, if you did a poor job making drinks too many times to count, the game would be over with, essentially. And, if you didn't give them the correct drink that they were thinking about, they'll say something different. Or if you give them the right one, they'll say something, you know, more positive as well. Oh, hold on. We got the part ready. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to check the synchronization level with the replaced body. You might feel a strong stimulation. It's normal. This is normal? I felt like something huge was swinging me around like a toy. I don't know exactly what that feeling is, but that feeling sensation means it's normal. If it were yesterday, you wouldn't have felt a thing. If it hurt, I'll guide you more clearly next time. Rather than pain, it felt like defeat. Oh, the blue shit. Okay, thankfully I did have some of the blue stuff repaired, but it's still gonna take some time to get it down. I'm not a speedrunner, if you can't tell already. I really do like fighting these games and just like playing around with them on stream. Actually, to be honest, I'm beginning to question like whether I should have like a Discord group at this point outside of just like making announcements from my streams and stuff. Or if I should just like outright delete Discord. Not my account, obviously, but my server. Like, I've been beginning to question the need for an actual server for, like, my streams and stuff. Because, like, I'm playing these type of games just because I'm more curious about it, or, like, I want to have fun. You know. And plus, like, running a server can be a bit of a pain in the ass if I don't have, like, moderators or something to help out. I don't know. I'm debating on whether to keep my Discord server. I haven't actually decided on it yet, but I still be willing to, like, reconsider if someone, like, thinks that it'd be better if I just kept the Discord server mainly for announcements or whatever, or if they still want to interact on there. Not that I'm advertising my Discord, by the way. I'm just saying that I'm debating on whether to actually, you know, delete it or not. Because I am genuinely thinking about it. The server, I mean. Anyway, enough of me yapping about that. Let's continue solving this puzzle. Let's see. Okay, this is still a bit of a pain in the ass, but we'll get through it. Yeah, I still definitely need to, like, remove the other pieces. Yeah, the cool thing about this game is that it's free to play. Although, I don't know if it's going to be free for, like, how long. But I think it's still free right now on Steam. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's free to play for now. It's free to play right now. So if you ever want to try out this game, you can. I honestly do hope the developer does go forward to, like, either add more to this or to, like, make a similar game. Or, you know, I don't know, make more games, I guess is what I'm saying. I mean, it's up to them, obviously, but I think what they made here is actually really good. And I think they should, like, I think they deserve, like, an applause, for me at least. Although I don't really matter that much in this grand scheme of things. Chris, you are an adult, right? I am, but why do you ask so suddenly? I understood that humans grow over time, but your childhood appearance and your current look don't match very well. If this is a sensitive topic, I apologize. Wait, so Orca might have been the one that rescued him in that incident. That actually makes sense. Like, she previously mentioned that, like, she tried to reassure the child that, like, his family's okay. Which turned out to be wrong. So, that child in particular is the main character here, Chris. Don't worry about it. It's something I need to overcome. And regarding the polar night of that day, I don't think I feel much burden about it. Most of my stress and obsession seems to be based on what happened after, rather than the accident itself. Anyway, I knew you as an extrovert, Orca, but you speak as if you're seeing human growth for the first time. It is my first time seeing it. I like active behavior, but most of my social relationships are only with Eves at work. I don't have many chances to meet humans, and developing long-term relationships is even rarer. We have an unexpected commonality. Okay, so... Okay, looks like we got one of the parts already, I think. Yeah. Oh. That was relatively simple. The synchronization with the transplanted body was good, but because you reacted so sensitively, Orca, it took longer than expected. I'm sorry, it was annoying, wasn't it? Not at all. Actually, your reactions were interesting, so I enjoyed the maintenance process. That's embarrassing. That's the last of the follow-up maintenance. If there are no uncomfortable parts, we're finished here. Oh, we'll finish here. Are there any discomforts? None at all. It might be different when I go out to the field and use my strength, but the sensation itself is very clear. That's a relief. After replacing parts on this scale, some Eves occasionally experience a bit of panic. It's similar to an identity crisis. Is that so? Parts were changed, but I think I am just me. That's fascinating. The story of the ship of Theseus is famous. How do you pronounce it? Theseus? Thesis? Or Theseus? I can't really tell. But anyway, the ship of Theseus, with all of its parts replaced, and a new ship made from those parts. The question is, which one is the ship of Theseus? You keep on saying that word to piss me off, aren't you? Like, you're trying to like make me read this word, and I'm like, am I pronouncing it correctly? What is this? The ship of Theseus is the ship of Theseus. Why? Why you gotta phrase it that way? Why? Is the owner of the newly built ship Theseus? Well, I don't think that was mentioned specifically. That's a fun opinion I've never heard before. Orca's philosophy is pure but somewhat unique. It must be her own philosophy that creates the conviction to jump into scenes of horror and tragedy without hesitation. The story acts as a question about essence. The parts of the ship meeting the body and the recognition that this is a ship of Theseus. It questions which of the two is the essence. Right. Countless philosophers must have presented their own answers, but I simply define it as, I don't know. I momentarily lost focus at her unexpected absurd answer. Orca saying, I don't know, with such confidence. I thought that confident attitude, even more than usual, was amusing. I am not the ship of Theseus. I am not Theseus, nor am I a sailor on that ship. I'm not the carpenter who replaced the planks, nor even a person from the era. As someone who knows nothing, I can't discuss the essence, can I? Are you talking about qualification? Rather than qualification, I see it as a problem of cognition. Let's talk about humans and Eves. It's about the soul, which we discussed yesterday. You said that Eves who haven't reflected enough on their self often suffer from a desire for attention or recognition, right? Yes, I also had this worry around a similar time. It must be a similar topic. Seeing Eves who don't have souls is ultimately an extension of the discussion on essence and values of life form. Do you believe in the existence of a soul? It's invisible, cannot be felt, and lacks sufficient academic evidence. From a logical perspective, yes. The word believe itself is attached to the facts that aren't clear. Are you saying that it doesn't exist? No, I wanted to say we don't know if it exists or not, which is a very agnostic take on things. If our essence is the soul, and we can't even judge it if it exists, how can we define ourselves? Valid. Chris, you said that with this maintenance, I have effectively acquired a new body. Then am I a different Orca? I don't think so. Of course, it's not the result of deep reflection. Then what if my personality was transferred to a completely different model of Eve? That would also be Orca. The conditions are a bit different from the ship of Theseus. The condition that appearance and function are completely different. Even so, without a moment of hesitation, I said that it was Orca. The truth is unknowable. Any one of them could be Orca, maybe not, or maybe only partially correct. The real Orca might have died yesterday and might just be a replacement. Because the truth is difficult. That's quite a serious story. Then Orca, what conclusion did you reach? Because I don't know. I decided to live my best. If I can't know what the essence is, I'll just do my best for every Orca. From what I felt, the world was full of complex and incomprehensible things. Being right or being perfect. It was harder to find things that made sense. Actions thought to be right sometimes hurt someone, and information believed to be true changes overnight. After thinking that, I felt I should live even more diligently. Whether there is a soul or not, whether I'm an Eve or human. Thinking that the value is not defined by me made my hesitation disappear, and allowed me to do my best in rescue work. I think the opposite is often true as well. The fact that no matter what you do, it might not be right, seems to make it hard to find motivation. Maybe it's a perk of my job. It's a tough job, but it's one that requires less worrying, isn't it? Saving someone at least makes it hard to be a bad person. That's an interesting opinion, and it happened to be the advice I needed right now. I'm glad. I was starting to worry that I was just rambling on endlessly about things I only like. You like these stories too, Chris? I don't know much about it, but I don't dislike it either. It was a good talk, Orca. Likewise. Thank you, Chris. From recalling these memories in the conflict with Michelle, and even in the past, I couldn't avoid being indebted to Orca. She probably wouldn't want it, but I hope I have a chance to repay her. Okay, so we're going on to Prey next. Not like actual prayer, by the way. Her. Actually, let me check something real quick. Okay. Hey. Prey. You must be busy right now. What's up? Prey visited unexpectedly. The timing was perfect. Following Leanne and Orca's advice, I was organizing my feelings about Michelle when I hit an unexpected snag. I was just thinking Prey might be able to help. With Buff Girl O'Hara about to end, I thought she'd be incredibly busy. I came for one last visit before it gets really busy. I have to work myself to death today. How's your body holding up? Body? Ah, right. I was feeling a bit under the weather. Did you come all this way because you were worried about that? Not really. No, actually that is why. I even asked you out on a date. I would not reject the tomboy's date. That's all I'm saying. So I can't back out just for this. Date? You mean the meal plan on polar night? Technically it is a date. You dense bastard! When a girl comes onto you this strong, shouldn't you at least take a hint? Wait a second. Wait just a second. What did you say? You wouldn't know a hint if it bit you. You useless eunuch. Seriously. Eunuch. Not unique. Eunuch. The caption title doesn't want to say that I'm saying this correctly, but I guess it's not a common word to say. Wait a minute. We've been so comfortable with each other, I've never thought about it that way. Honestly speaking, we even shared our fetishes, and we've seen everything there is to see about each other. Wait a second. No way. Don't tell me he treated Prey like a doll. Plus, you never said it directly. You moron! You didn't hear me when I said it. And now what? I never said it? A scene flashed through my mind for a moment. Prey looking dejected, asking just to grab a meal together. Don't tell me. That day you came by smiling strangely. What did you say back then? I hate it! I wonder what she hates. Prey, stop. Hold on. Prey. I have something to tell you. Seriously. If it's a lie, I'll make you taste iron in your mouth. You mean I'll bleed? You mean your fist will end up in my mouth? My fist will go into your mouth, and you will bleed. And I'm going to need compensation for your rudeness. This is separate from the lying. Compensation. The reward Prey loves. I'll give you as much as you want. Good. Talk. Okay. It's about Michelle. Michelle? Ah, your sister. It's ambiguous if she's my sister, but yes, that Michelle. I think he might be able to help with that help with, I guess that meant to say what she's going through. But anyway, it's complicated to explain. But her condition is similar to the after effects of a shadow agency. What are you talking about? She's your sister. Acting as a shadow is something only Eves can do. After a bit of commotion, Prey listened to my explanation, and a complex look clouded her face. For her story hurt so suddenly, it was long and heavy, so in a way it was natural. When it is over, I should give her some delicious snacks. Chris, in a way, this is a more serious situation than the after effects. In cases of suffering from shadow agency after effects, there is still an original personality to return to. Even if all original personality feels like events of the past, and like childhood memories, it's not to the extent where memories are corrupted. So, it's closer to your current state. Thinking about it that way, that's quite an accurate diagnosis. Memories of the past do surface, but except for a few dramatic moments, they are often in the form of information rather than emotions. You're sharp, Prey. Regrettably, that is not the case for Michelle. Once the personality she was acting as disappears, virtually nothing remains. That's why she considers herself Michelle, even more strongly. If Michelle is considered dead, her life becomes one where everything was fake. Her memories, her personality, even the moments she built up. But Michelle also noticed to some extent. There is a life she built while knowing, so dismissing even that as a lie is a leap, I think. Facts aren't what's important, Chris. She's a child who lived relying solely on you, despite knowing the truth implicitly. Hearing the words Michelle is dead from you is like losing her last hope. Of course, since I'm not Michelle, I can't give you the right answer. But I know one thing. Michelle must be lonely, and she needs a helping hand. The only person who can help Michelle is you. And it's my responsibility. I have to resolve it. Good attitude. But instead of persuading her, maybe it's better to be honest. Michelle probably wants to not lose herself, more than she wants to remain Michelle. She's afraid of becoming nothing. Neither anyone's daughter nor sister. If you convey your feelings, and if it's sincere, a complete resolution might be hard, but I don't think it will end with Michelle disappearing. That's amazing, Prey. You probably haven't even met Michelle, so how do you know so well? Prey's words, even to me who spent almost my entire life with Michelle, showed that she understood Michelle too well. Her perception of the events that occurred was as clear as if she had experienced them herself. Upon hearing my words, Prey let out a faint smile and spoke. Every Eve goes through an identity crisis at one point. Sometimes wanders, and sometimes makes the wrong choice. Prey. In my case, I entrusted my body to a mechanic with suspiciously fluent speech at a repair shop with a shady name in the gloomy outskirts of the city. That's me, isn't it? Or that's Chris, isn't it? I see. So that's how it was. Was it helpful? Of course. I'm convinced that Michelle will listen, just by doing what you said. The important thing is conveying your sincerity, so do not be swayed by the shell. And about the conversation. Yes. The touch of a suspicious mechanic. Beginning now. I do have to say I really do like the dialogue in this game. It's clever. Damn, don't look at my face, it's embarrassing. And it actually does convey some points about psychology and, like, philosophy to a certain degree. I dig it. Oh, I think I had that all this time. What am I doing, bro? Oh. Oh, what am I doing? feels weird. Okay, no wonder. You need to uncurl your toes. This feels better. Since eaves have a structure similar to humans, muscle fibers can get stiff. Usually called a cramp. ... Right. Good thinking. Oh, what am I doing? I already had the piece earlier. That's fine. We'll make another one. There we are. Okay, we just need to make like a bunch of red pieces and match them together. Yeah, this week has been a little bit rough on me, especially emotionally, because I've went through a lot. I don't want to get too personal, but I was coping with like something that happened on Memorial Day weekend. I mean, I already talked about it, but technically, but yeah. I'm just thankful that I'm okay and that everyone is okay and, you know, that my car's okay too. But, yeah. Maybe I should just be thankful that, you know, I still have things. I still have people that care about me. I still have, you know, people that are still willing to hear me out on things as well. And that, you know, my persistence is one of those things that help me out in life. When the maintenance is over, are you planning to talk to Michelle? If she answers, of course I'll try and talk to her. If things work out well, I'll take you to a super delicious restaurant. Damn, okay. And feed you until you burst. Damn, what a woman. That's my type of woman. Are you paying too? Why would I say this if I wasn't paying? Last time you said that, and then whined asking if we could go to Dutch. That time, I haven't stayed up. I'm saving diligently these days. Oh, and besides, I'm gonna get my money's worth back for what I feed you. Okay, so we definitely did prepare the yellow part, so that's good. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder if there's like Japanese translation for this game. Wouldn't be surprised if there was, at least, if the game somehow became popular there. It's kind of like how Valhalla got like a bunch of translations too. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? I'm gonna restart that, actually. Oh, that's why I was missing that. I'm dumb. Here we are. All right. Okay, yeah, we're gonna need to like build up till we get. I think I'm assuming that's like the highest piece. Yeah, that thing. Second highest piece. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. Oh, what am I doing? What the hell am I doing, bro? Here we are. I really do love the music in this game, though. It's very suiting of the gameplay, the game itself, and the gameplay. It's relatively chill and very ambient too. It builds up like a lot of good ambience. Okay, here we are. We just have to move it over there, and we're good to go. Whew. Maintenance is done. You should get up. No. Do it a little more. I was just getting used to that gentle touch. Even if I wanted to go easy on you, I have no more services to offer. Do you know how many hours it's been? Hearing this, Prey looked at me in shock. Time? It's almost been 4 hours. Snap out of it. I'm screwed. I'm sorry, boss. Prey scrambled to her feet and started putting on the coat she had taken off. I'm rooting for you, Michelle. And don't forget Polar Night. Okay. Listening to Prey's fading shout, I answered belatedly. And late in the evening, I sent a message to Michelle, my honest feelings. And all the stories until now. Choice? Oh. Let's see what the choices are. Alright, let's read it. Happy Power Night. Independent government. Yeah, they try to make it out to be like some great celebration, but really it's just like a temporary like week of like sunlight or something close to it. Polar Night Day, the final event lighting up the end of the year in Chroma City. Neon signs were twinkling, and the streets should have been full of people, but the dim maintenance shop was filled only with silence. The blackout for the festival was partially the cause, but for dialogue, the Eve maintenance shop specializing in psychotherapy, it was a little different. Even as time passed, there was no response from Michelle. It showed that the message was received, but she made no reply and showed no gesture. It's almost time for the appointment. No matter how depressed she is, a promise is a promise. A quiet street with not a single point of light. Looking up at the night sky, I prepared to leave. Input canceled. Input canceled. Hi. Michelle. I thought you'd be happier to see me. Your reaction is unexpectedly dull. Maybe I should have ghosted you for a few more days. It's just so sudden, I didn't know how to react. I'm really glad to see you. I read your message. Just as my feelings are my own, your thoughts are your own. Even if I'm not your sister, I understood that you don't want to lose me. It might sound contradictory, but I thought being honest was the best way. Whoever you are, talking to you every day was fun, and it became a habit for me. Who am I? Michelle. Michelle's dead, but I am Michelle. The fact made me hate myself. To the people who love me, I felt like a monstrosity that only revives their pain. That disappearing was the right thing to do. Those thoughts filled my head. We had a lot of fun times too. That was the only way I could overcome my doubts. You cherishing me, caring for me, and loving me, when I thought that was just an illusion created by drugs. I felt like I lost my bit of worth. Because I have Michelle's memories, I'm just making the people Michelle loved, and the people who loved Michelle suffer. Disappearing quietly must be the answer. If it were my sister, she would have done that. Because she hated causing trouble for others. Right. It was a Michelle-like choice. That I, who wanted to remain as Michelle, could make for the last time. But you told me that even if I'm not Michelle, I have worth. Whether I'm Michelle or not, you asked me to stay by your side. Those were the words I wanted to hear the most. Even without pretending to be Michelle, you are fun. Sometimes you can give counseling, and sometimes you're someone I can rely on. The problem was that I couldn't be like that. After getting your message, I pondered what if I am not Michelle. Or, I promised what I pondered what I am if I'm not Michelle. In the first place, I realized I couldn't even understand what defines Michelle. Memories, habits, emotions, the conviction that I am Michelle? Then I realized what you meant by I don't know. That you're in this state too. Right. I couldn't be sure if Michelle was dead, or if you weren't Michelle. I couldn't be certain. I didn't know what the right answer was, and then someone said this. Then be honest. Then do your best. If you can't know what the truth is, do what you want. Living the way I want. Is that what you want? Yes. That's everything. ... Chris, then can I do as I want and selfishly stay by your side? The story with Michelle wasn't a perfect ending, but precisely because of that, it was more than enough to paint the stories that would follow. However, while I was distracted by a distant future, I missed what was right in front of me. I was late. Very, very late. Because of Michelle's sudden message, I had completely forgotten about the appointment. When I belatedly told Michelle this fact, she asked, were you just slacking off with something that important coming up? And told me to get lost immediately. I smiled awkwardly, hurriedly finished getting ready, and practically typed a message to someone. I'm gonna save this one. If I can. I'm gonna choose this one. The night of power night day. The night sky of power night day. The light of the chromatic zenith was brightening the city like broad daylight. The wind is quite cold. No, that might sound like I want to go back soon. Then how about the moon is bright tonight? Oh, it's like those anime pickup lines. It's like Tsuki ga kirei desu ne. It's like the moon's pretty. It's like a way of saying I love you or whatever, supposedly. You're saying that that's in the top 4 most cliche pickup lines in history? I worked so hard to come up with it. Hello, Leanne. Sorry I'm late. How about the night air is nice? I think the chic vibe would be good. Leanne? You're here? You've been waiting. I'm really sorry for being late. Something urgent came up. No, I just got here too. Anyway, the night air is nice, isn't it? Your ears are bright red. Are you sure you weren't waiting? Come here. Leanne, who is always thoroughly prepared, couldn't possibly have not been waiting. And seeing how she usually likes to wear thick clothes, I was worried about Leanne, who must be very sensitive to the cold. I took my hands out of my pockets and covered Leanne's ears. Chris? Wait, I don't know how to react to this. They're really cold. Sorry for being late. Michelle contacted me. Not everything is resolved, but I'm relieved for now. Whatever happens in the future, I have you, Leanne. And there will be enough people to help. So I'm not that worried. That's a relief. Feeling your warm hands and hearing such good news, I feel like my anxiety's washing away. Then Leanne, shall we walk a bit? No. Let's stay like this for a bit. Not just a bit. Forever would be even better. Leanne, who isn't honest with herself, slowly snuggled into my arms, and for a very long time we felt each other's warmth. I actually like her as a character, though. Eventually I caught a cold, and Leanne needed her heat control unit replaced. But after that day, Polar Night became painted with a warm happiness, as warm as Leanne's body temperature. Lying curled up in bed together, and listening to Michelle's nagging, I was unbelievably grateful. So I quietly prayed that this moment would last forever. Oh. That's one of the endings, it looks like. Yay, thank you, Cherry Picker. And thank you, awesome developers. Oh, you guys are Korean developers. Okay. I'm kind of surprised y'all got inspired from Valhalla. And Crafton's involved. Huh. Interesting localization. Use assets, okay. From YouTube audio library. Whoa! There, almost done. How does it feel? Not at all, my joints are creaking. I had to make sure you could move first. Use some emergency spare parts. You don't mean that junk piled up in the warehouse, do you? You know exactly what my bank account looks like. Then restore my backup. Being data is better than being in a body I can barely control. Can't do that. Why not? I already put it out an ad. Said I hired a cute and capable new employee. ... Give me a cute smile, please. Huh. You better swap these for high quality parts later. Got it? Okay. Skip. Skippa. We are at this part. I'm gonna see what happens if I select the second choice. Okay. You didn't choose Leanne. Why? Created the festival alone without anyone. The night sky of Polar Night Day. The light of the chromatic zenith was brightened the city like broad daylight. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. The gorgeous streets and even more gorgeous signboards and antique decorations. The beauty made my heart already daunted by missing a reservation. Feel even more dejected. What is this? You said you had plans on the precious Polar Night evening, so I let you go thinking you might have gotten a girlfriend or something. You just came to take pictures? It's hard to get a reservation here. It's famous for having the best view of the chromatic zenith. That's fine, but I'm pointing out that there's no one by your side. In case you contacted me, I wanted to show you. Me? Why? Krova City is a harsh place. Too many people suffer, and enraged victims turn into perpetrators. Even so, I wanted to show you that Chroma's Polar Night can be a beautiful day. I wanted to show you that. Well, it's a finished story, but I'm not exactly a singular variable. I was part of your plan after all. That's what you were saying. Right. Of course, it was a plan that isn't really needed now, but since I paid a lot for a reservation, it's a waste not to go. I feel like I've been tricked somehow. Oh, they say we can go in. Let's hurry. Yeah, I like the Leanne ending a lot more, honestly. I can see why the achievement's like, why? Okay, so it's not really much different. I guess the employee is Michelle. Alright, well, that's it for dialogue. Overall thoughts. I mean, it's a good game. I think it's short. I think it's like relatively short if you can actually finish the puzzles quickly. I know like I know like I had someone rate my stream last week mentioning that. And yeah, I mean, if you know what to do with puzzles, then it should be relatively easy. Maybe you can get it done within an hour to 2 hours, I'd imagine. Maybe 3 if you were having a hard time like I was. But yeah, I'm very happy I was able to stream this game. It's free to play right now. And, you know, props to the developers for making such a great game inspired by Valhalla, but still its own thing, essentially. And the puzzle gameplay is actually a little soothing in a way. So if you have the time, I highly recommend downloading this on Steam. And with that said, we're finally done for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. Tomorrow night, I will be playing DJ Max at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And for Saturday, I more than likely will not stream, but if I'm going to stream, it'll be like a guerrilla stream of sorts. If I feel like it. Since I have work this Saturday, so. Yeah. Anyway, with that all said, thank you so